Majuu, 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 Majuu. Now welcome everybody to the Wild Wild West. The shows that's untouchable like Kelly and Ness. From New York to London, we bring you the best. The originator, perpetrator, put me to the test. I see a skill, I'm cool. Huvunjika guu, listen up. Weka mikono juu, show ni majuu. Ndani ya gari, angalia juu tu. Ni mawingu, kata pingu. Tunapaa, up tunapaa. Far away, huko overseas. Lakini sisi bado ni mabis from the east. So sit back, relax, and take it easy.
Nice to meet you one more time, Mr. Karaoke, and obviously welcome Mr. Gitonga. We are here on Radio Majuu, and we can go ahead and get this thing started. We are live as we speak on Radio Majuu. If you are in the diaspora, welcome to Radio Majuu. If you are in Kenya or internationally, welcome to Radio Majuu, the voice of the diaspora. And today we are joined by Martin Karaoke, Centum Vipingo Reach Managing Director, and obviously we have Mr. Gitonga here. Welcome to Radio Majuu. So we have a list of questions that we're going to go through real quick as we gear up for the Daring Abroad investment conference in DC next weekend. I hope you gentlemen are ready. So we are going to talk about generational wealth. We have saying, before we go beyond diaspora, this is Radio Majuu, the voice of diaspora. I'm your host, George Gichobi, and welcome one more time to Discovering Opportunities in East Africa. So welcome, Mr. Karaoke. Quick introduction. I know we've had you here before, but for our new listeners, tell them who you are and what you bring to the table.
Thank you, George. My name is Martin Karaoke. I'm the General Manager for Vipingo Development. Vipingo Development is one of the subsidiary of Centum Real Estate. We are based in Kilifi, that's the Mombasa coast of Kenya. We are developing a model coastal city to add on to the two rivers in Nairobi and to add to our Uganda model city, Palmarina. Today we are here. I'm excited to discuss to you about the opportunities available back home to create generational wealth, and also to invite you to our next big weekend event at Washington, D.C. Asante, karibu.
Asante sana, welcome. And then we go straight to Mr. Gitonga. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for the opportunity. And my name is Kenneth Mbae, and I've not been called Gitonga for such a long time. It's my middle name. Thank you. I serve Centum Real Estate. We are an investor and developer of large-scale mixed-use developments in Nairobi. Mm-hmm. And I've not been called Gitonga for such a long time. It's my middle name. Thank you. I serve Centum Real Estate. We are an investor and developer of large-scale mixed-use developments in Nairobi. Mm-hmm. and Uganda. We offer, we create lifestyle communities, and we offer people an opportunity to create a passive income, create a generational wealth, and enhance their productivity, because you spend quite an amount of time in a real estate setup, and in your ordinary course of day, 8 hours is spent at home, and we want you to have maximum rest, your kids to have maximum rest, for them to be productive in school, and for you to be productive in the office. So we are a lifestyle business. In that business, I serve customers, shareholders, diaspora community, and I serve my colleagues as their managing director. Thank you.
Perfect. Welcome to Radio Majuu one more time. I will call you Mr. Mbae.
No, Gitonga is I like Gitonga.
Okay. Is that your middle name, or it's just a name that you don't?
Mbae, that's my name. Mbae is my father's name, and Kenneth Gitonga is my name.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I have a middle name, Kinyua. If somebody calls me Kinyua, I might probably take a double look and find out. But it's totally understandable, and I'd like to welcome you one more time to Radio Majuu, the voice of diaspora. Asante. Yes. I have Abdul Diallo. Abdul Diallo joining us all the way from. Was it in? I want to say Sudan. But maybe you can tell briefly, really quick, who you are and where you're joining us from.
Yes, my name is Abdul Rahimi Diallo, and I'm from Senegal. It's in West Africa. So essentially, I'm the founder and current executive at Jootal Financial. We build the infrastructure that facilitate moving capital and investment from the United States to a couple of countries in Africa. And right now we have a live payout in Kenya. So essentially we find assets on the ground, and then we bring it on our platform and then enable the assets providers to utilize our infrastructure to move the capital.
But first of all, let me apologize for mixing up Senegal and Sudan. They both have S's, so I just jumped on the first S that I could manage that is very close to East Africa. But Senegal is obviously in the West Africa, and I'm very glad to have you here because we are in the East Africa and we are trying to bring the whole of Africa together. So you move money, and this is digital money. How does that work?
Yeah, so basically we use a stable coin to move the money. Like, for example, usually how it goes with other companies, Western Union and other like Sendwave, etc. They utilize the traditional rails that have been here for quite a while. Consequently, some of the fees being utilized to move it is quite exorbitant and quite high, and sometimes big also in the exchange rate. So we utilize some of these new technologies like stable coin. So like when we have access to the dollar, we convert them into USDC, and then we transfer it on the chain to our partners in Africa. And then that's where the reverse conversion happen in for example, shilling or a ZAF or any currency we are actually covering at this stage. And because we are doing that, we are able to cut the fees down to at least 50%.
Oh, okay. So what I'm hearing is you get the funds in Bitcoin and then transfer them to regular tender, and then transfer it to your customers.
Actually, no, we don't utilize none of those cryptos. We just use a stable coin, which recently got approved by President Trump through the Genius Act. So it's a 1-1 ratio, $1 equal 1 stable coin. So it's very stable. It doesn't fluctuate. It doesn't go up. It doesn't go down. It's 1-1 ratio between US dollar and the stable coin. But moving that and having access to that and the transparency, the fees, everything is make it much more easy, much more simple, much more smooth, and it opens a door with other opportunities. So that's why we go through that route.
Okay, I will definitely ask you more about that. It is very interesting, and obviously, if it's saving people money in terms of transferring the funds, then that is definitely a good thing that we need to explore. All righty, welcome one more time to Radio Majuu. I'm your host, George Ichobi. If you're watching, this is the program that we are focusing on exploring opportunities in East Africa. And we want to hone in on this topic about generational wealth. So I'm going to throw out this question real quick for the whole panel, and then I'm going to focus on Mr. Mbai so that we can excuse him. And what does generational wealth mean in the African context, especially for the diaspora?
Thank you, George. Generational wealth means assets passed from one generation to the other. So you may have inherited land from your grandfather, your father inherited, and then you inherited, and then you pass it down. In the traditional Africa setup, very few families have that kind of generational wealth that has been passed down through various generations. In this part of the world, there is many ways of passing generational wealth. There is homes that were built hundreds of years back that are still passed from one family to the other. You can pass down insurance policies. You can pass down shares of listed companies. Currently, what we are trying to do is to help families create that intergenerational wealth so that the subsequent family starts on a softer ground. In Kenya, you famously call them dynasties. And one of the ways that is quite efficient to pass generational wealth is homes or real estate assets. They could be offices, industrial buildings, or residential homes, where you collect passive rental income that is managed well, passed to the next generation. And because the life cycle of a house is 50 to 60, even 100 years, if it's well maintained, subsequent generations can carry on very well. Thank you.
Wow, that is super important, and obviously because of dynamics that we are familiar with, that is not readily available for mostly people in the African continent. So I really appreciate you coming through to explain that to us. All right, why is now a critical time for the diaspora to explore opportunities in East Africa or West Africa, depending on where you come from? Mr. Kariuki.
Thank you very much, George. Let me speak to the context of East Africa, which more or less speaks to the larger Africa context. In East Africa, if you look at the moment right now, we are in a very interesting and exciting moment. The population is booming in East Africa. The infrastructure, both by private developers like ourselves or even the government, especially in Kenya, for example, you've seen a very huge investment in infrastructure. So all this combined together gives us that opportunity that this is the best time. You know, the cost of waiting can be very high, and you've seen it over several years. There are those who we call our maybe grandparents or our parents. They didn't invest properly in the 70s and 80s. And today, what we see now, the cost of some of these opportunities they missed, it is too high for this generation. And now we need to think of, now this is another opportunity for us, because in another 50 years, the opportunities we think are very costly today will even be more costlier in five decades to come. So I think for me, this is a critical moment for someone to come in diaspora, come in early, take advantage of these opportunities. Some of these things that we are developing, even as Vipingo Development and Centum Real, is because we have seen how mature economies have evolved over time. So East Africa and Kenya, they are following the same trend. So you come in early, you buy in the vision, because with the vision, you'll be able to realize value as we move along. So what is the key takeaway in my message is that the population is growing in East Africa. The urbanization is increasing. In fact, it is estimated that in Kenya alone, 1,200 people move to urban centers on a weekly basis. And that number is going to increase. These people need accommodation. They need housing. But they need a different kind of housing, because we've seen that the young people have started demanding better lifestyle, better governance.
Yes.
Very soon they've started demanding better housing. So these are the opportunities for someone to come in from diaspora, take advantage, because East Africa is evolving, and very soon, what we think is very expensive now, when we are talking of 2070, for those of us who still be here, God willing, I think the generation of them we'll wonder why we never took advantage of the opportunities of 2025. Thank you.
Well, I think we have a lot to discuss, and we can definitely extend this beyond this interview and also into next week, where we have the Daring Abroad conference. So what unique opportunities is Centum Real Estate offering to the diaspora looking to invest in property?
So Centum Real Estate, we offer investment grade opportunities, both in the residential, in the commercial, in education, because we create integrated environments. We create integrated smart cities that are sustainable. So if you are there in diaspora, we are looking at opportunities that can plug in. You're looking for opportunities that can plug in into these smart cities that we are developing. Now, if I take an example of Vipingo development, where I sit in Mombasa, is a 10,000 acre model city, well planned with water, with infrastructure. We need schools, we need hospitals, we are doing residentials. These residentials, we need co-developers. Co-developers, I mean, if we need to build 5,000 affordable homes that are sustainable, we've only done 400. We need somebody to come and say, can I do another 1,000, for example? And how can we support you as the master developer? So we have a lot of opportunities, and we don't just cater for the one market segment. We cater for affordable, for the middle income and the upper end, as far as the housing and the land is concerned. And for investors with a huge appetite in other sectors like education, hospital, industries, schools, those are things we have provided for in our master plan, because these cities that we are creating, Two Rivers in Nairobi, Vipingo in Coast, Kilifi, and Palm Marina in Entebbe, we can't do them on our own. Our work is to create infrastructure, to get you the necessary approvals, to make sure that we de-risk these opportunities for our diaspora investors, so that you come, it's plug and play, and we are able to hold your hand. And we've seen quite a number of diaspora investors take advantage of these opportunities. They come in early. And that's how now we envision that if we are able to take this, if we are able to have a lot of people come on board early, we can be able to actually keep this cycle of creating model sustainable cities to the larger East Africa and Central Africa. Thank you.
That is very, very well said. What are the key sectors in East Africa that are ripe for investment? Maybe I can throw this over to Abdul Diallo. So with the fintech, I think that is an area where it's very ripe for investment.
Yes, that is correct. Fintech is very ripe for investment, because pretty much we have gotten to a stage where the money is like, when we have the cash is very limited, and having this digital infrastructure give it more reach. It can go beyond just pretty much where we can physically be present. And what we do in the fintech space is just enable that, not just to be able to shop locally, but shop internationally as well, move those capital. So fintech is very ripe for investment as of now, and I believe also in the future. But real estate also is the case, because it's expected that the African population will be doubling by 2050, and all those individuals will need to be housed somewhere, and essentially building those infrastructure or those houses that pretty much provide all these folks shelter. It's something also to consider really well. There are also other areas like agriculture. I'm very passionate about agriculture, because we need to eat well and properly. It's estimated that 60% of the remaining arable land is in Africa, and a couple of countries like where I'm from, Senegal, we still import a lot of food. To me, it's kind of doesn't really make sense when we have youth, when we have the land, when we have the sun, and yet we still go ahead and import. So we need to inject capital in these this area as well. So those are like three that I'm thinking on top of my mind, but I'm pretty sure there are others like health that Martin mentioned earlier and other areas and sectors as well.
Oh yeah, very, very well said, because we have a partnership with the Food Security Consortium. And obviously, food security and agribusiness is a priority for their diaspora investors, not just diaspora investors, but also national governments, to make themselves sufficient in terms of food. So there's a big gap between what we produce and what we export, and it's always a good thing to be self-sufficient, and that will save us a lot of funds, or release a lot of funds for other sectors to grow. Alrighty, so we are doing very well right now. If you're joining us, it's this Radio Majuu. I'm your host, George Gichobi, and we are going beyond the diaspora, and we're looking forward to next weekend's investment conference by Champs Media, and I hope you will be joining us for that. I will be posting the flyer here in a little bit. All right, so back to Mr. Karaoke. How can real estate investment contribute to the building of generational wealth for diaspora families, and what safeguards are in place to make remote property investment simple and secure?
Thank you for that question, George. When you look at creating generational wealth, I think from where we sit, because this is what we do on a daily basis, dealing with real estate. It is actually one of the best sure avenue you can count on to create that generational wealth. And this is how you create it, because my colleague Kenneth said earlier that generational wealth is passed on from you to your children to the next, and so on. The fact that this property and real estate is appreciating in value, that in itself is a way to preserve the wealth, because if the inflation keeps on increasing, your property is catching up. And that's basically what we call the capital appreciation. Now, if you choose the right avenue of real estate, the one that is generating income, because you can buy a home for yourself to use when you come back home in East Africa or in Kenya.
Yes.
That might not make money, but if you're buying rentable properties, say for example, you go to Two Rivers, you hear UN is expanding, more people there, so you just get yourself some good rental income. Then we manage those for you as Centum Real. Then surely you'll be able to make also passive income, rental income that comes in even when you are sleeping. So when you combine the capital appreciation together with the passive rental income that you earn over time, when your time expires on this planet, you hand over the baton to your next generation. The second question is, how do we safeguard the interest of the diaspora to be able to invest remotely? So we've gone through the cycles of real estate investment, both by people who are here in East Africa and people in diaspora. So we more or less have an idea of what are the key pain points that the two segment of customers go through. For the diaspora, we've realized that the issue of trust comes first, is the foundation. So what you've tried to do is to make sure that everyone has a mobile phone. Everyone you have this gadget with you. It's a phone, but it does more than a phone. So we try as much as possible to make sure that whatever property you're buying from us as Centum Vipingo, you have your app here, and this app can make you see the statement. You can see your documents. You can download your receipts whenever you want. You can get your statement. You can get your newsletter from this phone, and you can also send a request from the app. So we try as much as possible to make sure that anything that is touching on the money you are emitting to buy your property, you have that information whenever you need. The other item is we are now in the age of virtual reality. Because you can't be able to come here to see a show house, we'll send you a VR link, and you'll be able to see the show house from the comfort of your home in diaspora. You'll be able to see the kind of kitchen, how it look like, how does the colors blend. So we've tried as much as possible to, because again, when you ask a relative to come and see the property on your behalf, their taste could be a bit different from yours. And we've seen somebody saying, why are you buying here? Why can't you buy in Kajiado, for example? And yet maybe your interest is you want a high growth area. So that's how we are making sure that we are able to safeguard. And maybe to mention on the issue of the documents, we courier documents to you via DHL in case you need to execute those titles for them to go to the land registry. So end to end, you can actually transact, acquire property. We manage the property on your behalf, and you earn passive income without ever having come to East Africa or to Kenya for that matter. Thank you.
That is very very convenient, because I know for a lot of people, maybe they can't travel for one thing or another because of family, because of work related issues. Obviously, it's not a short distance, so it takes a lot of resources to just travel over there. So if you can alleviate some of those problems, then that really helps the diaspora people back home. Well, thank you very much. All right, I have my other guest here, Abdul Diallo, all the way from Senegal, and he has a new money transfer service. I thought it was just the regular mediums that we use. What are they? Sendwave, Remitly. What is this other one called? Lemfi. So is Jootal, it sounded a little bit different than that in terms of using a stable coin. Can you explain what the difference is between maybe a Lemfi and Jootal in terms of transferring money?
Yes, thank you for the question. Yes, we are very different. The way we approach things is money transfer is the first layer, and we go beyond that. What we have noticed is a lot of members of the African diaspora, usually they shop around, they have 5 different apps, 3 different apps, opening to find out which one of them has the cheapest fees, and then they select it. So we thought, like, if we go through that route, we will just be running a race to the bottom. So our money transfer is just the first layer that we have built by providing 50% less fees, utilizing the stablecoin technology. That alone is a big differentiator, but we go beyond that. So we enable the members of the African diaspora to track exactly where that capital is going. Because if they use like 5 different apps, 5 different many other things, it's very scattered. It's not, they don't have a bird eye views of exactly where their money is going, in what time frame, etc. And that's what we enable as well. We enable that money management aspect, right? So we have at the bottom the money transfer, then we build on top of it the money management, and the third layer is the investment. Okay, now how, if they see how much fees they have saved utilizing, they understand exactly where the capital is going. Now they can find some of the assets that we have sourced on the ground, because our expertise is not, for example, like Centum Real Estate developing things. It's not our bread and butter, but we are extremely good at building solid technologies. That's what we utilize to enable pretty much our main goal, which is a diaspora, to be able to convert some of those remittances into investment, and then now invest in these deals that we have source found and we saw that it's secure, and then we enable it in our platform for the African diaspora to invest in.
So is this just one platform, or you have to go through different platforms?
One single platform.
All right. And am I saying it wrong? Jootal?
Yeah, it's actually Jootal.
Jootal. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's just a name. It doesn't have no cultural significance like Yahoo or a Google. Is that what it is?
It actually does. So it's a word in Wolof that means Betalima means, hey, let's say for example you have something next to you, and I say, hey, can you Jotalima what's next to you? Like for example, the art that is behind you. So you are the medium through which I'm having access to that asset behind you or something behind you. So we are just a medium of access.
Oh, okay. That is perfect. So Jatalimal, it produced the word Jootal. I'm gonna learn some. What is the language that we speak there?
It's Wolof.
Wolof, Wolof,
Right.
Wolof. Not to be confused with Jollof, the rice.
Actually, they said the word Jollof come from the tribe Wolof.
Ah, okay. All right, nice to know. So we are integrating East Africa and West Africa, and we're actually in a very perfect position right now because if you're talking about saving tons of money using the app and finding ways to invest it, and then we have Mr. Karaoke here who is has a ready-made plan on how that money can be invested. So if you're watching right now, ladies and gentlemen, this is an opportunity for you. Some of the opportunities we're talking about in East Africa and West Africa that you can use to either get your financial resources organized in such a way that you have or create generational wealth, whether it's in real estate, whether it's in fintech, whether it's in agriculture, or whether it's in any other area. So thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming through. You have mentioned some of the risks that we consider and how they get mitigated. So in the same realm that Abdul was talking about, how do we bridge the knowledge gap between the diaspora and the opportunities back home?
Thank you, George, for that question. I think the knowledge gap between the diaspora and back home, it's from where we sit as Centum Real. It's easier, but it has also been compromised in a number of previous past experiences. But to simplify it for our listeners, I think you see the open conversations like the one we are having, I think is a very good platform for us to exchange ideas and share what is available back home. The upcoming event by Charms Media in Washington, D.C. is a press more like a property expo. It's a very good platform for us to exchange ideas, because you'll find me there with all the knowledge I have on the ground as far as East African property market is there. Then you as a diaspora customer, you'll come, you'll have a chance for us to interact. You'll be able to ask your questions. So I believe this expo and webinars where you're able to have a conversation, it is a good platform because you're able to even see the person. Because sometimes when you just send catalogs and you send emails, they lack the human touch. You can't see the person behind the message. But when we come on such a show, you're able to listen to us, you're able to have this kind of Charms Media Expo, you're able to come and you're able to discuss. And then once we do all that, we can share with you now materials through digital platforms. Now that you already know who is Karaoke, who is Abdul, who is Gitonga, you're able to put names, and these people that you meet, you're able to create a good rapport. They become your point of contact whenever you want to understand insights in a particular industry that you want to invest in. There's one policy we adopt as Centum Real, that whether you're investing with us or you are just undertaking a real estate property investment elsewhere, we will share with you the insights, because this is information we have. We tell you where you are likely to burn, we tell you where you're likely to thrive. So we share the information very voluntarily. But that point of sharing has to be facilitated with conversations like now the ones that Chamwada is organizing for us. Because if I come there, if I take my time, fly all over to the US, it means I'm dedicated. I'm dedicated to coming and sharing the information. It means that I have paid the cost. So I'm coming there because I know we can exchange ideas. There is also the diaspora people, our clients from diaspora. You have a lot of exposure because most of the diaspora customers, you are in a much developed economies than we are in. So there is also insights you can share, especially on sustainable buildings. How do we make sure that we are not creating concrete jungles? You can provide us with insights, case studies of projects that you've seen being done, say in the US or in another part of the world, and that kind of mutual exchange. I don't think it can happen via emails. It needs to happen in a forum, in an expo, where the real people are exchanging ideas. They're having a conversation. Thank you.
Wow. All right, you've actually answered my next question about what financial models are tailored for the diaspora in particular, and I'm glad you'll be here to see potential investors face to face, which is more, better than talking over the phone or having like a virtual call, something more tangible. So, what are some of the safeguards that make a remote property investment simple and secure? I know you have mentioned, you can use the UPS to transfer the documents real fast. And what other ones maybe you can mention real quick?
I think the one that can sum up all is, for diaspora listeners, I think once you're able to identify a developer that you can trust or who has a proven track record over years, you have solved 99% of problems of you as a diaspora, because the anxiety of not knowing whether you get the title deed, for example, if you're buying a land, the anxiety of not knowing that I was promised here there will be a road, whether it will come, whether it is by the government, whether it's by a private undertaking. I think, to me, once you identify a key player in the industry and who has several decades of verifiable projects, then the rest is now what I was discussing about. You're able to get a DHL for your document, you sign, you send them back, you take them to the land registry for stamping, you're able to wire your money through various money applications, and if you don't want to lose forex currencies, we're able to give you an account in your currency. So I think the main one that we need to emphasize on is, how do we help our diaspora customers and listeners to identify verifiable developers with track records? And that's where the pain point is. And if you speak to any diasporians on the street today who have tried to invest back home, and investments maybe have not yielded to the potential that they had imagined they would get, that would come in very clear that how can I trust? Because I'm miles and miles away. This person talking to me, we have made a good brochure, a very colorful catalog, a very colorful flyer. How do I verify that indeed if I give my money? Because we all work very hard. We work multiple jobs to make sure that we generate cash that we can invest back home. And this money, if it's very painful and is being sent back home and is not giving someone real value, it is very, very painful. So I think once we're able to see and tell the diaspora people, this is what we've been able to do over years, this is what we are promising, we are getting better. Here you can trust us, you can pay as the project progresses, you can get your titles, others have gotten titles, you can see you're in phase 3, phase 1 and 2 have their titles already. I think that would solve 99% of the problem to that question you've asked. Then the rest is just a matter of how do you leverage technology, how do you make people have information on the app, how do we make sure that documents can be signed and shipped. Those are just by the way, but if the core is not addressed of a trusted developer, then there's a big problem there. And I think most diaspora listeners will concur with this point, that indeed that majority of us have not been able to know where can I invest back home. And if I conclude, you see what is happening with the current political system, where you can anytime you can find yourself coming back home. If you don't have some good passive income coming from your home country, you might end up coming home to a very rough start. Yet you've worked very hard and you've spent a lot of dollars and pounds back home, but there's nothing to show for it. Thank you.
Wow, very, very well said and very well explained, Mr. Kariuki. Obviously, welcome one more time to Radio Majuu. If you're joining us, we go beyond diaspora. We're hosting you over here in Maryland right now. I have Mr. Martin Kariuki, MD of Vipingo Development, all the way in the coast of Kenya, and Abdul Diallo joining us from Senegal, the land of Jollof. Welcome one more time, and obviously we're preparing for this Daring Abroad conference or investment forum that will be held in DC this coming Saturday, actually on the 6th, hosted by Alex Chamwada and Champs Media, and everybody else. If it's Monday Majuu. Join us for the One Voice Hour. I'm your host, George Gichobi, and thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. See you all, everybody, on Saturday. If not, we'll meet back here online. Thank you.
Remember, you're building His image and likeness. God is love and love is God, and God is in all of us. So bring out the G in you. I'm your boy, O Genius, Blast Master G. Peace, bless, see you later.